Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. And if you just watched the Ascension Partner Q and I thank you for watching. And I imagine if you're now clicking here and watching this video, either live or the recording, it's because you have some questions about what was just shared with you. So, um, we're going to go ahead and get started momentarily. I'm just going to give people a moment to join us. If you are open and feel led to hitting the like button so the content can circulate, I always appreciate that. It's one of those things that the algorithm uses as an engagement metric um, to know whether or not it's valuable content to surface for other people. Okay, let me get in the chat for this on my mobile device. One moment. So that I can keep up with the conversation. Okay, fabulous. Okay. Um, and so just to clarify, for those of you who are just joining, once again, welcome. Thank you. This will be a live chat about specifically the Ascension Partner live stream. I understand that that live stream was not the way my guides gave it to me. It wasn't something that I thought personally was the easiest to understand. So I'm going to go ahead and answer any questions about that live stream now so that you have the opportunity to have those things clarified. A couple things. If you're participating live at this time, I want to thank you. Um, I'm only going to be answering questions about the Ascension Partner. I'm not going to be answering other more general questions about, twin flame stuff, the journey, your personal stuff. I don't do personal channeling, and I won't be answering astrology questions. This is really strictly for those people who have questions about the Ascension Partner so that these two videos can kind of stay together as a set and as clean content. If you have other questions, you can always feel free to email me at chrysalismoon@gmail.com, KRYSALISMOON@gmail.com. While I do see everything, I don't always, have time or energy to respond to everything. But I do as much as I can respond to what I'm able to. So I thank you for your understanding if for some reason you don't receive a response. Sometimes it's just that there's just such an influx in my inbox. Okay. Um, let's go ahead and begin. Um, let's take a look at your questions. Your voice is like cursive. Hilarious, Juniper. Thank you. Let me start at the beginning. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Gemini Princess. Where do your guides come from? General question, Alice. Not going to be answering that. May seem silly, but what happens with my kids' vibrations during this time of ascension? Definitely not a silly question, Jessica. Not going to answer that. Going to be strictly focused on the Ascension Partner. Thanks, Danny and Brooke, for joining. It's great to have you here. Happy feet. That was intense. My guides keep telling me let him go. And if he's meant to come back, he will. Thank you for the channeling. You're welcome. Juniper P. Whoa. Jessica Cosfield, will my unconditional love raise their vibrations too? That's a great question, Jessica. Let me just take a look and see what my guides have to say about that. Okay, they're showing me a couple of things. They're reminding me of a channeled message that got put out late last year about how unconditional love protects your twin flame from being caught in lessons that do not serve them. They have to learn them. It doesn't prevent them from learning those lessons, but it stops them from being trapped in those loops around that kind of thing. They're also sharing with me that there is an aspect of the souls that, because they are one, you inform each other's energy in a really significant way. And so there's that, and by inform, they're showing me that energy flows back and forth. So your healing flows to them, their stuff flows to you, their growth flows to you, etc. They're showing me a body of water in a glass. They're saying you can't put dye on one side and expect that it won't also flow to the other. Okay, what's the last thing, the third thing you wanted me to share with Jessica here? Right. And so there are sequences in their level of consciousness that raises their vibration, and a connection between the third eye chakra and the heart chakra. So 6 and 4. They're showing me that the connection between 6 and 4 means that they can't skip steps in their consciousness raising. They have to go through their steps of having their consciousness raised in the order that they're supposed to. And as such, your unconditional love will, yes, help their vibration and frequency stabilize on earth during these major transformational changes. And simultaneously, it doesn't shortcut them on their lessons and the things that they need to learn to be able to comprehend why their vibration is so high, or why their vibration is stabilized, or that this is love and that this is what love does, that they still have to move through. They're showing me like a series of classes, which are experiences that will help them understand that. Okay. I hope that clarifies, Jessica. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you. Maz T, link between twins and Kundalini. I'm going to focus strictly on Ascension Partners and Q&A about that. Holly M. Okay, great. Got it. Okay, just looking for questions here on Ascension Partners, guys. One moment. Okay, new timeline divination. So what is the most common difference between Ascension Partner and True Twin? Right, okay. So my guides and myself, and this isn't going to resonate for everyone. And so I'm going to preface this by saying, if this is not true for you, I ask that you leave the content in peace for those for whom it is true for. That you need to honor what you have been shown is true for you and your own intuition on this, because much of the journey, both as we ascend and as we embody love, is about returning to our own divine knowing and turning on that aspect of us that is a direct reflection of the divine and the creator, which includes our divine knowing. So here's what they're going to say about the answer to that question. Twins they're showing me an energy that comes from one place that flows into two bodies. They're showing me Ascension Partner and person. They're showing me that light bulb of body turning on. And what they're saying about that is, And let me just see if I can simplify it, because the way they said it, I thought was more complicated. And let me just run it by them. So essentially, let me make sure I have this right, guys. The Ascension Partner is someone who awakens us to unconditional love. Our heart gets tethered to theirs so that we can stabilize our vibration while the earth ascends. Once the earth's ascension process is complete, that connection begins to dissipate, leaving us with the vibration of unconditional love and all of the spiritual gifts that came with it, with that awakening, with that unfoldment to the higher vibration of human being. Okay. Got it. Okay. So the Ascension Partner's function is to keep us stabilized while we move through the volatility of these years on planet Earth and the volatility of awakening to our powers and awakening to our, they just keep saying amplified, the amplification of being a human. And they're saying yes. Okay. So hopefully, new timeline divination, that was clarification enough for you. If you have further follow-up questions, please let me know. I'm doing my best to explain what feels a little complex in the way that they're explaining it to me. As I said, this is not going to resonate for everyone. You need to take what resonates for you, and leave what does not for those for whom it does resonate. They're actually telling me that as some of you hear this information, there are certain levels of remembering and opening. They're showing me like flowers opening in people's third eye and their pineal, in their cosmic recognition. They're saying there's going to be, now that this piece is in place in collective consciousness, clarification is going to start coming in from other sources to help recognize the distinctions between the two new divine timeline. So understand that this information is flowing through me and also through others they're showing me to bring this level of clarification and knowledge to planet Earth. They're saying that Kay has been tasked with delivering this piece of the information at this time, and that more is forthcoming through other beings on the earth. But they keep showing me the picture that the twin is like one energy that has flowed through two bodies at the same time. Okay, moving forward. Yeah, this is intense. Thank you, Alice, for letting me know this was beautiful for you. I appreciate that. Are twins and false twins both considered ascension partners? Tally Howard, let me get into that. What do you want to say about this, guys? No, they're showing me that these are two very different things and very different energies. The twin flame work on the planet has a lot to do. Okay, that's an interesting complication. Okay, so they're showing me that the twin flames work on the planet has to do with the reincarnation of a vibration and a frequency of higher level comprehensions of love across the planet. They're showing me the human heart grid connecting almost as like a gridded pattern across the planet and wrapping around the planet, surrounding it through the heartbeats and the heart vibrations of twin flames. And that their work was to help the human heart grid and hold the human heart grid around the earth as the earth rises in frequency. The second task for the twins, what else do you guys have on this? Right. Okay. So they are showing me forwards and backwards in time. They are showing me linear across generations in time. They're showing me the cleansing. Is it cleansing? Is that the word you want me to use? No, that's not the one. Okay. What do you want me to say? They're saying the closest word you have to this, the English language available to you at this time, is redefining. The relationship between relationships like marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, etc., and love. That there have been patterns of dysfunction in relationship, and the way they just put it was just point blank, that are no longer allowed to stand on planet Earth. And the twins' role in this, right? Okay, so they have already explained this to me multiple times. They've said that what they've shared with me is that the twins' role in this is to step into those vibrational patterns, become them so they can overcome them. And through that overcoming them, they leave a vibrational and breadcrumb energetic path for all of the women and all of the men on the planet that they are connected to. And it shifts laterally for the entire generation because they share the DNA. It shifts laterally for the generation that they incarnated as part of. And then it also stops inherited spiritual patterns around relationship dysfunction when it comes to love. And it breaks generational. What are you trying to say? Okay. So they're showing me a set of experiments that was done. And I think I put this in the Divine Masculines channeling for 2020. This just got complicated. Okay, I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. But what they're showing me is that trauma has a way of living in the DNA to the degree, and research is just finding this out in the last decade and validating this in the last decade, that because there are certain traumas that can live in the DNA that then get passed on genetically through generations over time, there have been traumas done in the name of love on planet Earth. And again, they're saying that are no longer allowed to stand on Earth. And what twins are doing is breaking those patterns in one lifetime that generations before them have experienced and passed on. It's a soul that is incarnated to break the pattern in those families so that all generations henceforward have a new option and path when it comes to love and relationship. And they're saying that this is why it is so hard sometimes for families to understand what causes the twins to keep seeking each other out and to choose the staying together. Okay. It's not for the families to understand. It is for the twin to teach by example and by living, breathing embodiment of what choices unconditional love makes. And that love starts with a love of self, but it also extends to the love of the self inside of another body. Now they want to address the Ascension Partner piece. They're saying that an Ascension Partner is just a completely different thing. They're saying that an Ascension Partner is one who a person's heart gets tethered to, that allows you to ascend in frequency via going through this breakthrough in love, learning the love that has no conditions. And it's this breakthrough in love that's happening at the same time that the earth is rising in frequency, that's allowing human beings to stabilize their energy on planet Earth while Earth is going through her vibrations and her ascension. Okay. Once the They're saying that a lot of the healing that twins are doing in their family is also available through a person once they have been through their ascension process. Many of them shift their patterns karmically in their family line. Wow, they're telling me that twins incarnated to very specific families for very specific reasons around some of this stuff. But with Ascension Partner, it's really about the person who's experiencing that love and then releases their Ascension Partner. It's really about going through a very rapid process of evolution and expansion and growth that is going to allow you greater amplification of your cognitive, psychic, and spiritual abilities on planet Earth at this time. They're saying that this was just the fastest way that this could occur. I don't know why they said they're not going to get into why speed was important. But it was imperative at this time that as many souls as could be capable of holding this higher vibrational frequency. It was inherent and native to the survival of human beings on planet Earth. It had to happen so that the humans on Earth could also ascend with the Earth. And so the tethering dissolves. They're showing me it dissipates. They are also showing me, but the frequency does not. That once you've turned on through your Ascension Partner, you are a lit up, turned on, like that light bulb human being on planet Earth. You are a higher vibrational being. And then you have capacity. Okay, they're showing me people walking around, like flicking on the lights of other people. You have the capacity. They're showing me light work, that you become turned on to light work and your capacity to vibrationally transmit to others. Okay. Whew, that was complicated. I hope that I hope that made things easy. Tally, that was a great question. Thank you so much, Maz T. I think I just answered that. Kim Mai, could an Ascension Partner be karmic? Okay, what they're saying about this is that much of the language and current level of comprehension around karmic partner or karmic soulmate on the planet at this time has to do with a soul contract to learn certain lessons that are meant to be taught by a particular person. Some of these lessons have to do with love, some of them do not. Some of them just have to do with other things like money, freedom, treatment of people. Yeah, they're showing me like they're showing me that humanity is outgrowing an era of depravity. That was the word they used, depravity. That humanity is outgrowing their own depravity, and many karmic contracts that are had are meant to help us see ourselves in the mirror, help us outgrow those patterns. And they said that's all they have to say about that at this time. Mama T says, explain ascension, please. Okay. Mama T, a couple of things here. Wow, there's so many places I could go, but let me just see what they want to say for the purpose of this recording. They're prompting me to tell you to have a look at Dolores Cannon's work on the Earth's ascension, specifically the video about A Tale of Two Earths. They're also prompting me to point you in the direction of the history of the Schumann resonance and the history of the Schumann resonance's peaks and spikes and the amplification of the way the earth is like peaking and spiking in its normal harmonic frequency of 7.83 hertz, that we're getting well above that more often, and stabilizing at higher and higher levels. And they're also telling me to point you in the direction. They asked me to say here that all over the globe, human beings are waking up to a higher level of consciousness and being in their 3D form, that you recognize this and you see this. What is happening in the 3D world with the internet and the interconnectivity of souls through technology is also happening on the spiritual level of the interconnectivity of souls through spirituality. The increased telepathy, as above, so below. The way that you can tap in to knowledge and experience is happening in the spiritual realms as well as the 3D and etheric realms and the physical realms all at the same time. And this is what is meant by ascension. It's the process of becoming turned on to our higher level functionality as human beings while the earth vibrates at a higher frequency. Okay. Isidore Elias, does the Kundalini get triggered by both twins and ascension partners? That's an interesting question. I don't know anything about Kundalini other than what I've read on the internet. But what do you want to say about the Kundalini, guys? They're saying to say again, Kay knows nothing about Kundalini. Okay. So we've we've said that. What else do you want to say? Okay. So they're prompting me to remind you that there is certain information now that this information is going to be distributed to the collective. The information that was meant to come through me is coming through me, but there are other people who are more well versed on Kundalini. This information is going to start to flow through them, and they will be the ones to deliver you this information. In other words, Isidore, I don't know. And they're not going to tell me, is what they're telling me here. Juniper the event, I'm like, okay, slowly. Are we entering a time frame when ascension partners will be moving away from us? Yes and no. The 5 years and the 4-year period specifically, they're showing me 2019 through 2024. This is a period of time. They're showing me like a condensed period of time where it is critical that as many souls vibrate at that higher frequency as possible. And so more and more people will be stepping into the experience of ascension partner. More and more people will become cognitively aware of twin flame. The experience of both presents very similarly. As you move through the other side, you will come to clarity about which is which for you. It's the knowing of, oh, what this is. They're saying what matters most is surrendering to the lessons of love that are trying to unflower you, open you like a flower. And so, but are they going to be moving away? They will once the work is complete. That for all ascension partners, once the work is complete in your particular soul, the connection begins to dissipate from your side, the untethering, you get unhooked. They're showing me just a dissipation in the cord, but the cord is there to help you stabilize and open to this vibration of love while you are ascending, while you are opening up. Okay. Mary Jo Dupree, what's the difference between ascension partner and a karmic? Like he has a karmic. I think I covered that, but if I didn't, Mary Jo, please go ahead and ask me again. KT, I think labels are confusing to everyone. Psychology describes it as anxious avoidant. It's classic twin flame. Happy feet. Your channeling answered a lot of my questions already. Thank you once again, Ashlyn Joan. Does the Ascension Partner activate you like your twin flame? Yes and no, they are saying. Okay, how do you want to phrase this? In both cases, an awakening to spiritual gifts unfolds because those gifts are available once you are vibrating at the frequency of love. They're reminding me of the teachings of the Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, that these beings had stepped into such a high love vibrational frequency that they were capable of superseding normal human limitations, or what we understand as human limitations, that's what love is capable of. Oh, and they're showing me the kinds of miracles that happen, like how, like when you hear these news stories about moms they're showing me moms pushing cars, lifting up cars off of their children who have got, run over or what have you. They're saying that, yes, scientifically, what you can see under a microscope at this point in human consciousness's evolution is adrenaline. But the higher levels, the higher level etherics, they recognize that that can only be possible when the tether of love and the frequency of love is that intensely radiating through a person. And so the activation for both twin flame and ascension partner that causes your access to those gifts, that level of what you now understand as miracles, but you will come in the next 100 years to understand as the way human beings are, what human beings have always been capable of. These will become possible because more of humanity is existing at this higher level of frequency. And it is through the activation both of the ascension partner or twin flame that this becomes possible for either type of human being. Okay, got it. Okay, ascension partner is not in my life. Marina Cook, okay. Kara Sutra, just for clarity, are ascension partners twin flames or are they false twins? Can you explain the difference between them, please? I believe I got there already, Kara Sutra. Definitely have a listen back. The main distinction they were trying to make is that the idea of the false twin, they're saying that the human being has a lot of connotation around the word false, that false is also synonymously linked to lie, coversion, diversion, aversion. I would need to look up the etymology of this word to understand why they're showing me all words with ersion at the end, but and that is not what is actually happening. They want me to say that there's no nefarious plot here, that all is happening for the greater good. Okay. That all is happening for the greater good. Okay. To the moon. Hello, thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Let's see, more questions. Just going to try and get through as many as I can in this follow-up. Are there more people going through ascension partners than before, specifically versus true twins? Alice Heath, are there more people meeting ascension? Yeah. Okay, so they're showing me this very particular 5-year period, and they're actually including 2018 in this. 18, so I guess it's 6 years. 2023, 18 to 23. 2018 to 2023. By 2024, much of this begins to dissipate, but there is a peak at this moment in time of, again, they're using this word on flowering, and they're showing a flower opening to love, and that that human beings are being allowed to tether in this way to ascension partners so that they can come to understand this love frequency, that they will be with them for the rest of their lives. Once it's turned on, it never turns off, even though the cordage between them and an ascension partner can dissipate. And yes, these particular 6 years, 5 years worth of time, there is more of that happening at this time, because it is necessary for the human heart grid to light up with more love at this time. And the more people who light up with love, the more people who can light up with love, the more people it becomes possible to access this frequency. Okay. Let's see. Gary Whitaker, do you have to have one? I'm quite happy going quackers on Mitad duck. Dude, no, they're saying no. Okay, yeah, and they're showing me sages. They're showing me like Metatron and people who go straight hermit or who like walk this path as a sage, that they often get their light codes in other ways. They often get that frequency in other ways. Lana Bagenstos. So when the lesson is learned and the tethering is being undone, that person is gone from your life forever. Not necessarily so, they're saying, Lana. They are saying that the hooking is gone. The thing that keeps you so gripped in the connection is gone, because your purification process is done. And they're reminding me, because this is a conversation we had this morning in meditation. They said, we want you to do 2 videos next. We want you to do Ascension Partner, and we want you to do purification process. And so I'll have to get to that at another time, Lana. Just stay subscribed to the channel. But no, they don't go from your life, but the feelings begin to shift. And because your feelings begin to shift, it's like a release. It's like an unhooking. It's like a grip gets loosened, Lana. They can still be in your life. Love and cherish, Debbie. If it's an ascension partner, will he automatically untether from my field? I just answered that. Kara Sutra, on that note, how can we differentiate between twin flame, ascension partner, karmic partner, false twin? So I'm going to direct channel that one, Kara Sutra, rather than shorthanding it, because I think they probably have really important things to say. So give me a moment to go in, Kara. Yeah, okay. We would not have you make the distinctions. Those distinctions are based in density patterns of separation. We would instead prefer you to move from, and they're showing me third eye to, they're showing me third eye to heart center. We would instead have you find the lessons of love in the connection you are in. Because it is in the understanding of the lesson of love that you expedite the process you are in. When trying to connect from the mind and making the distinctions that put people in categories or relationships in categories, we have found for humans that they have at this moment in human consciousness, they have used this to stop connection, avoid the breaking open to love that causes the breakthrough in love. We would prefer and we advise that now that you understand what it is, rather than trying to control the process, that you unflower. They keep showing me unflower. I have never heard this word unflower before, people. I don't know why they keep using it, but they show me this flower opening. We would have you open your heart. As we told Kate earlier, some of these lessons are going to show you the necessity of loving yourself fully, fundamentally, truly, deeply, completely. Because of the way another may show up, your self-love is going to be called forward to ensure that that piece of your growth in human consciousness is cemented into your vibrational field. The other piece has to do with the awe, the beauty, and the inspiration that you find in your love for another. Both of these have to occur in order that the human being turns on. Okay. All groups that have just been mentioned will at some point go through both stages of understanding love. And this is the part that matters. Okay, that's what they want to say about that. Is there anything else? Yes, they're just preparing me. They're like, there's some people who aren't going to like that answer. And they recognize that. They're just saying that they recognize that. They recognize that this is why I hadn't put this information out. I had gotten this information a year ago. And they're just empathizing with me that there's going to be some people who really do not like that I do not have a clear answer for them on that. But they're also reminding me that my job was to put out this piece of the information. They're showing me a jigsaw puzzle, and that my job was to put out this piece of the information so that the other pieces in the puzzle can begin to start coming together around it. Okay. Other questions specifically about Ascension Partners is what I'm looking for here. Stacy Hart, can you feel an Ascension Partner, or would that be a twin? As they're showing me that as you amplify and love, all of the things that you would deem a supernatural gift become possible to the human being. And that includes the deep empathy that one knows to be twin flame, but will also become possible in families. That deep empathy where you feel another will also become possible in soul groups and among friends, in workplaces. They're just showing me this beautiful picture where, because that deep empathy is so amplified on the planet, they're showing me again that we are overcoming a stage in human consciousness that included they like that word depravity today, which they've never used with me before, but they're showing me that because we are going to be able to feel one another so resonantly, they're showing me like a string on a guitar vibrates and then all the other strings vibrate. We will begin to walk on the earth more gently and gingerly with one another, more gently on the earth itself, because we will begin to recognize that she feels what we feel what she feels. and that this is a direct function of becoming attuned to higher frequencies of love, amplified love, and being able to hold more of that love in our vibrational fields. Okay. Untethering is painful. Yeah, and let me see what they have to say about that, Juniper. Is untethering painful? There is a period for some people, they're saying, where their consciousness, okay, I slow down, guys. Their consciousness needs to catch up with their heart opening. And they're showing me again that, their heart opening is, for some people, taking place at a much faster clip, and it's outstripping their awareness of what's happening. They're saying that this is why we wanted you to put this information out at this time, Kay, because this is going to allow some people to move through the untethering process with less pain. Because the pain associated with unhooking and untethering and the dissolution is preventing people from understanding the true nature of love, that love comes with freedom, that the truth of love doesn't possess or control. It doesn't seek to have another meet one's own ends or fulfill one's own desire. That love is an open palm. And that the idea around false twin that there could be somehow something that is a lie or something nefarious or something that is a plot to harm you is actually compromising some people's ability to hold and stay in the vibration of love that was uncovered with what is their ascension partner. And so if at this time you are in pain, the process is not yet complete, that there is still more to learn, that there a sinking of third eye, what's happening in the level of consciousness. They're showing me stages of awareness and learning that allow the consciousness to keep pace with the heart, and that this transmission is one piece of the puzzle and one piece of the transmissions that will now be forthcoming, that will allow you to let go with ease when the dissipation occurs, and to let go in gratitude for the way that person allowed you to be tethered to them while Earth ascended and you ascended at the same time. Okay. Okay, Mama T, I'm going to come back to that in a different live because this live is really focused specifically on Q&A for the Ascension Partner. Ex-husband, likely my Ascension Partner. My guides have said he's like my twin. He's staying on the street with his family here in Arizona from California. Endings, transitions, unconditional love. Yes, very good. Komal Sharma, does our Ascension Partner, false twin, also undergo that switch on process for their own journey? How's that work? Do they also go through this? They're saying that they can and they do. It is often not at the same time. Well, why wouldn't it be at the same time? Because then the lessons in love could not be learned. For so many on planet Earth, we have been waiting for them to uncover. Oh, so they're relaying this to me in like Christianity terms, because that was the faith I was raised in. They're giving me the commandment that Jesus gave to his to those he taught. Love another as you would love yourself. They are saying that they have witnessed that love for self has been so corrupted on planet Earth that moving through a process with an ascension partner at this time, and this is going to change, they're showing me that this is going to evolve very quickly over the next 3 to 4 years to work very differently. But at this time, they're saying that at this time, because there's been so much corruption and damage to the template of self-love, and they're specifically saying that's one of the things that twin flames specifically are here to correct. Many will have an ascension partner that they are tethered to that will force them to love self first via finding that awe for another. And much of it will be a process that happens for one person at a time. And then once that frequency is turned on and lit up for you, and then that cord dissipates, you will find another whom you attract and whom you are attracted to after that point are people who are all switched on. Yeah, wow, it's a very pretty visual. They're showing me like people coming together who are like so bright. They're like light bulbs, they're like lit from within. But the self love piece has to be learned, they're saying. And there is no, for people at this moment, not going forward, they're showing me this is going to change very quickly over the next 5 years. But they're showing me that the last several years and this particular moment, that coming to understand loving yourself is like, they're showing me like, how can I put this? Because that sounds really painful, guys. They're saying that it's not, it's as it is, and as you have learned with your own twin. When another does not love you the way you would have them love you, there is no choice but to love you the way you would have another love you. And this is true for any child who has incarnated to parents who have not loved them the way they felt they needed to be loved. Twin flame, ascension partner, whomever else. They're saying that the lessons of self love must be learned to correct the template that allows us to love another as we would love ourselves. Okay, got it. Okay. Bent to balanced. If in separation, will the ascension partner twin come back in before ties and tethers wither away? They're saying that ties and tethers evolve over time. Once you're fully turned on, the ascension partner hooking, like that thing that has you feel so like this person, that you're feel like it's like almost like your eyes open as if you wake from a dream. You don't feel the same for that person. Can we expect to keep ascending without any kind of closure? Is it unnecessary to reconnect physically? Got it. Okay. So there are people in the collective who are experiencing what they feel is lack of closure with this person that they feel tethered to. Okay. What they're saying is that if there is still pain, the process is not complete yet. That there is still learning to be done here, that there is still turning on to happen here. And they're also saying that one of the primary imperatives of the love that knows no conditions, that comes without conditions, and they're showing me that open palm again. They're showing me freedom. They're showing me and they're transmitting a high vibration of gratitude to my heart. They're okay. And so they're reminding me here that the transmission today in this conversation and this recording is one piece of a puzzle, that there are multiple teachings and teachers that will now start to come online around this. But that this particular piece of the puzzle was meant to help, was meant to bring forward the transmission that love comes with freedom. It neither compels nor commands. It doesn't stipulate or manipulate. It doesn't require. And so when the frequency of love has come, it keeps showing me amplify, amplify. It's not arising high enough. It's just amplify, like it expands enough. And once that frequency has expanded enough through the heart that it goes through the entire body. Okay, and they're also showing me that we need to eat healthier. Okay, guys, one message at a time. That what you understand as closure or coming back, that it is your consciousness, what's happening in the third eye or the mind's eye no longer requires it. Once that frequency has expanded enough, the mind no longer requires that of the experience. And they also just, they want me to say that they recognize and they empathize with the soul ache that is there. They're showing me like a tether that got cut and is like waving in the wind a little bit. They want me to just affirm that they see that soul ache. What else do you want me to say about that? And that the lessons of self-love will help rebalance. And they're showing me like the aura wraps around where that tether is waving in the wind and tucks back into the grounding cord, allowing that being to be sovereign again. And in that sovereignty, that self-love, there is a freedom that says that is grateful for the mystery of how this occurred, the magic that happened. Oh, are we still on? Can you guys still hear me? Let me know. I think my Wi-Fi cut. Okay, you hear me? Okay. Okay, great. Okay, fantastic. All right. So I think that's my cue. They kind of want me to wrap up shortly here. How many more questions do you want me to do? They say they want me to take 3 questions. Okay. Okay. I will take the 3 questions. And we will do what we can do with the 3. Thank you all for your patience. I deeply appreciate it. and for just hanging out. I appreciate that you guys would want to hang out, that you find this information valuable and useful. Yeah, please know that I am doing the very best that I can to transmit the information as it is given to me from the level of consciousness that I have as of this particular moment. That I recognize that I am an imperfect vessel, um, but that, I am trusting that you will find what you need to validate your own intuition via your own guidance in the coming weeks and months as you integrate this information. And I also trust that as other guides come online to bring in more information about this, please that there will be further clarification coming through to the collective, and you are welcome to tap into your guides now that this piece is here in the collective. Your guides may now have things to say to you about ascension partners or about twin flames, etc. They may have pieces of clarification that they will bring into you now that this building block is in place. New building blocks can come to help amplify our collective consciousness. So once again, thank you for your patience with me as I get the information out as best as I am able to. Just take what resonates for you is all that I ask. And leave the rest in peace for someone for whom it does resonate. It doesn't, all things that are true are not necessarily true for you at this time. Okay. Thank you, Leo Fire. I really appreciate you asking people to hit the like button. All right. Mitchy Mitch, yep, signs and syncs with Ascension Partner as well as with Twin. All the classic experiences are there, which is why they look and feel so similar. But it's also why earlier in the live stream they had talked about the necessity of um, leaving recognition behind and moving into and leaning into the unfoldment of love. Okay. Let's see. Can we meet our Ascension partners before 2018? Yes, JGO. You can, they said. There's just a whole bunch more coming online very rapidly in this period of time, like 2018 through 26. There's so much more happening right now because they're just saying there's an urgency around upping the frequency that human beings can carry at this time. There's an urgency needed, like an urgent, like there's a must to human beings carrying a higher level frequency of love. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's see what else is going on. Hey, Marie, welcome. So good to see you. J Smith 24. So then being 100% open and ourselves with our partners is probably essential. And the faster we can do it, the faster we can ascend. Oh my God, they're like screaming at me, yes, that this is the point. Oh my, they had so much to say about being open and ourselves with our partners. Okay, so let me just get into this. They really want to break this down. Being open in yourself with another is one of the greatest acts of self-love that can facilitate an opening to love in another, and that you can utilize to amplify your own frequency and vibration. hiding nothing, obscuring nothing, fixing nothing. Being all of you is the invitation for another to be all of them. They're showing me that turned on human being again, like a light bulb. And it is through that that you have the capacity to magnify others to you who are operating at that same baseline frequency of love. And from there, the ascension process actually becomes so much easier, they're saying. They're saying that that makes it so much easier. It's so much less pain. When you are fully loving you enough to share you and show you to another, those who would not choose you leave you in peace and respect your choice for being you. They admire the courage that that took, because there's such damage to the self-love template on planet Earth at this time. They're saying that being yourself, all of you, and open with your partner is one of the greatest acts of love that you can give them, because it transmits the frequency of self-love to them as well. And they begin vibrating at that harmonic at the same time. They're saying if more people could just do that, this whole thing would go a lot faster and be a lot easier with a lot less heartbreak and pain. Geez, Jay Smith, great question. Is there anything else? I said, no, that's all. Okay. 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 Is there any other question? I'm scrolling through the questions and just asking my guides, is there anything else that they feel like they have not answered that they would like to speak to? One moment, please. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for pressing the like button. Okay. Okay, Scarika Ninja, you've asked some questions here. I'm going to clarify on a complete other live stream, so just stay tuned for it. Okay. 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 I'm just looking to see if they're like, we want to answer this one. So thank you all for your patience. Okay. Jay Smith, yeah. It is all about you. That's right. Okay. Okay. KT, that's inaccurate. Barb, I'm not saying that who you think is your twin is your ascension partner. I'm saying that there is such a thing as an ascension partner, and that ascension partners and twin flames are two different things. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you so much, Dee. Appreciate it. The vent. Okay, they want me to answer this one. Can we be an ascension partner to someone we're not romantically involved with? And the answer is yes. You can, without knowing it and without meaning to. Someone can come to love you in a way that raises their frequency and amplifies their vibration to love. And brings them to that higher level of love and the self-love that is needed in order for them to ascend and truly turn on to the greater capacity of their gifts and what it means to be a human being. This can happen without you knowing it consciously. They're saying that there is a part of the soul that always knows, the higher self knows that for many, for some people, this is soul contract pre-lifetime and soul contract in lifetime. Some of the work you do on the dream and the etheric states, you sometimes soul contract this way with people. But they're saying that your conscious level awareness is not required for your participation. It's simply a matter of that person learning love and self-love as they see themselves through your energy. And so they're showing me like a mirror. It's like their energy flows through your field and then back to them, and then they see love and they understand love and they start to recognize love in higher and new ways, more amplified ways. Okay. Great question. The vent. Mitchy Mitch, I'm glad that cleared up a lot for you. Thank you. I hope that cleared up a lot for a lot of people. Again, take what resonates for you. Take what your guides have been trying to show you. Just because they are trying to show you something doesn't mean that that's what other people are needing to be shown at this time. So I ask that you take what resonates for you in peace and in love and leave what does not for whom it does resonate, because they need that information. Everything that is true does not necessarily mean that it is going to be true for you at all times. Okay. Let's see. Do Ascension partners have past life experiences? They're saying, yeah, they do. All people do to some degree, not everyone, but yeah. Scaraka Ninja, why the urgency? Urgency. Why the urgency, guys? It has to do with the needing to calibrate to Earth's changes because Earth is changing so much at this time. Okay. Marina Cook, the person I thought was my twin flame left me for someone else in 2018. Is it possible he is the Karmic Ascension partner? Marina Cook. So I can't answer your personal question, but they do want me to make a couple of distinctions here. That they don't like me using the word karmic. They say because there's so much negative connotation that has flooded the collective around that word. And that repeating that negative connotation just kind of, they're showing me like a clamping of that person's energy or the energy around the people the group of people who are viewed in that way on planet Earth, they're saying, and so that doesn't mean you don't have to use it. They're just telling me they don't want me to use that word. And that they don't want that word associated with Ascension Partner, because there isn't anything negative about it. That it's simply just a person that is helping you stabilize your frequency while you are rising in vibration, and coming to amplify and hold more love in your cells and in your DNA. And that there's not karma tethered to that at all. That it's simply about stabilization and energy. And that, yes, as they're showing me like breaks in a wave, like wave breaks, that as you ride the energy up and down, as you come to that stabilization at a higher amplitude, that again, they're just repeating. They're saying that the Ascension Partner, the hooks to the Ascension Partner and the grip around that person opens. Love is freedom. Love is freedom. Love does not compel. Love, and they're flooding me again with gratitude. Wow. They're showing me, they're transmitting gratitude for what we had the opportunity to learn via that experience. That love does not grip another person. Okay. 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 Let's see. Anything else that you guys see here that you want to answer in this chat? Okay. Maxim Mavis, in other words, we transmute all the pain caused from both partners into love? Very good question, Maxim. Let me ask. They are showing me that the point and the purpose was always love. The point and the purpose was always love. And for many of you, it is about self-love. But the point and the purpose was always love. It was always love. So then what about the pain? They're sharing with me that the pain is illuminating where there is corruption to the template around self-love and damage to the template around love of another, because love is freedom. Love does not compel, it does not possess. Okay. Great question, Maxim. Is there anything else? Nope, nothing else they want to say. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. You're welcome, Jay Smith. Yeah, nobody's awful here. Nobody's awful. Okay. Let's see. Lots of love to you, KT. Love you, love you. Big love to everyone here. I am 1111 DP. How is Twin Flame connected to Ascension Partner? They're telling me they're not, that they're two different experiences. And to get the full transmission of what and why and how, they're just saying go back and listen to the beginning where we clarified the distinction. Yes, please hit the like button if you are so led. I deeply appreciate it. Um, okay. Um, D, how are we to hold this vibration? How are they to hold the vibration, guys? Okay, so they're saying that part of this was transmitted in our what we told Kay about 2020 for divine feminines in that video, that there's an imperative around creating heart coherence at this time. They're referring me to the work done by the Heart Math Institute. They're also saying that this will happen as you stabilize naturally, D. And as more beings on the earth are turned on and lit up in that light formation, that it'll just be easier and easier for everyone to hold this vibration. But they're also saying that the mandate, both for twins and for people who have been ascended souls who have ascended, who are ascending, the Ascending Collective, the Lightworker Collective, that those of you who know this higher vibrational frequency of love, they're asking and inviting you through your work, through your hands, and in your workplaces to begin the process of creating work that comes from love. Because as more work floods the planet that comes from love and through the vibration and the frequency of love and holds the light codes of love, whether you are a graphic designer, a massage therapist, you're a stock options trader, whatever it is that you do, what you touch is now imbued with the light codes of love, and they are asking that you consciously interact from that place by choice in your relationships with anyone, period. Okay, got it. Thank you. Okay, great. Um, mm, mm, mm. Okay. Okay. I see why you got, okay. So there's several of you in the comments that are talking about, the not being interested in another human being other than the person that you are either tethered to in love or your twin. And so I guess this is why. So this morning during meditation, they said there are two videos they need to come out relatively quickly, back to back. I'll get to this as quickly as I can. But there's a video, they walked me through the purification process that occurs once you've met your twin. They are showing me that this purification process is very similar to what one going on an ascension journey with love goes through, and that process is part of why you become so fixated on one person who is not available and simultaneously not interested in anyone else. It is both for your divine protection and for your divine purification. And so they want me to walk through that in a video coming soon. So just know that that's coming. Okay. Um, okay. Let's see. You're welcome, Steph Wallner. You're very welcome. Um, you're welcome, Leo Fire. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Juniper P, I'm glad that this was right timing for you. Oh, cool. So your guides don't use healing karmic either. They use healing instead. Okay, great. All right, amazing. Okay. All right, so I need to honor my energy at this time. Um, And I'm finding that I need to replenish. I thank all of you so much for being here on this channeling. I have done, as I said earlier, the very best I could to transmit as much as I could, as accurately as it was given to me at the level of consciousness available to me at this moment in time. My guides are reminding me to remind you that this is going to start to filter in. Knowledge around this is going to start to filter in through the collective, through other vessels. And clarity about this is going to start to come through other vessels. And now that this piece of the transmission puzzle is in place, that some of your own guides are going to start talking to you and clarifying things for you. They are inviting you to lean into your own divine knowing, um, and that what is true for you doesn't negate somebody else's divine knowing and what's true for them. And that, as we all walk toward and stand in, as much as we can carry these higher amplitudes of love frequencies at this time, um, that to just be, they're asking me to remind each of us to be gentle with one another, to recognize that everyone is interacting from and loving from the level of consciousness that they have, that sometimes the frequency between the heart chakra and the third eye aren't always the same, that the heart chakra amplitude sometimes is much bigger than the consciousness awareness at different times. And to just be gentle with ourselves, that we're all doing the very best we can. Um, yeah, yeah. And to give ourselves a lot of permission to keep leaning into our own intuition and into our own divine knowing, and that the unfoldment of time will clarify many, many questions that will be raised from here in your individual journeys. Um, and that the wisdom for you is going to come through, how are you guys putting it? Um, the wisdom is going to come through the loving, and to remember that the self love is key. That your self love doesn't require anyone else's compromise or self damage, that your self love doesn't require another person to behave a particular way. Your self love only requires that you treat yourself a particular way. Okay, everybody. Thank you again. I deeply appreciate you guys hitting that like button, sharing, liking, and subscribing. um, and as your own divine wisdom comes to you and you feel guided to share it through your blogs or through your own platforms, please do. um, I encourage you to just share what you're channeling on your platforms. Okay, thank you all, and have a very, very, very blessed rest of your day wherever you are listening from. So much love. Take great care. Bye for now.